This is an analysis from Alpha Business Media. And today, we're tackling one of the most fascinating paradoxes in the global economy. So here's the mystery. How has a country like Nepal managed to dramatically reduce its poverty rates while its official economy, the one we see in the headlines, remains one of the slowest growing in all of Asia? It just doesn't add up, right? What are we missing here? Well, the answer lies in something huge, something that's operating almost completely out of sight. To really get to the bottom of this paradox, we have to start by understanding the sheer scale of what's often called the shadow economy. Okay, so what is the shadow economy? Put simply, it's all the economic activity that's not officially taxed or monitored by the government. Think of everything from a local street vendor or a small family farm all the way to a high-tech freelance coder working for clients overseas. If it's not on the official books, it's part of this massive hidden system. And just how big are we talking? Well, get this. Some estimates put the informal economy at over 51% of Nepal's entire GDP. Let that sink in. This isn't some small, fringe part of the economy. It's more than half of the whole show. And if you thought that GDP number was a shocker, wait till you see the employment figures. According to the World Bank, a staggering 82% of Nepal's workforce is informal. That's more than 4 out of every 5 people earning a living. It's not an employer. For all practical purposes, it is the country's primary employer. So let's talk money. What does that all add up to? We're looking at an estimated annual value of around 2.2 trillion Nepali rupees. That's just a colossal amount of economic activity happening completely off the official radar. And when you drill down into specific sectors, you really see how embedded this is. Take agriculture. The backbone of rural life for so many. It's almost entirely informal. And then there's real estate. At 99.97% informality, it's basically a parallel universe, a whole system operating completely off the grid. And yeah, it's often a way to park untaxed wealth. Okay, so we've established it's huge. The big question now is this a good thing or a bad thing for the country? And the answer, as it often is complicated. It's a real double-edged sword. For many, it's a lifeline, but for the nation as a whole, it can be a heavy anchor. Let's break that down. On one side, it's an absolutely vital social safety net. It's what puts food on the table for millions. It's how remittances from abroad find their way back home, and that's been a huge driver in cutting poverty. But there's the other side. It leaves workers totally vulnerable. With no protections, it suppresses overall productivity, and, crucially, it starves the government of the tax money it desperately needs to build roads, schools, and hospitals. Let's dig a little deeper into why it's such an anchor. First off, productivity is way, way lower. We're talking 79% lower than in the formal sector. Workers have no social security, no legal rights, no safety net. And that massive loss in tax revenue, it creates this vicious cycle. The government can't invest in the infrastructure and education needed to create the very formal jobs that would break the cycle in the first place.
This quote really hits the nail on the head. It says that for young Nepalis, the informal economy and going abroad for work are really just 2 different answers to the same problem. The formal system just isn't providing a decent future. So you either take an inward exit into the shadow economy at home or an outward exit and become a migrant worker. 2 sides of the exact same coin.
But here's where the story takes a really interesting turn. Just when you think it's all about low-skill, survival-level work, a completely different kind of shadow economy is emerging. And this one is modern, high-skill, and absolutely booming. Just look at these numbers. Nepal's IT service exports, we're talking a $500 million industry here. It grew by more than 64% in just 1 year. That's explosive. We are so far from subsistence farming now. This is the global digital economy, right here in Nepal. So who's behind this incredible growth? It's the young people. Over 83% of these digital freelancers are in their 20s. And these aren't just kids messing around on computers. Most of them have university degrees. They're skilled, they're educated, and they are competing on a global stage. So that brings up a huge question. Why on earth is this super productive, high-tech, export-driven industry operating in the shadows? The reason is almost frustratingly simple. It has nothing to do with a lack of talent or a lack of ambition. It comes down to a lack of basic financial plumbing, like not being able to easily use international payment systems. All right, so where do we go from here? Given everything we've seen, it's pretty clear that just trying to crack down on the informal economy is a non-starter. It would be disastrous. What's needed is a much smarter, more pragmatic approach, one that aims to transform this hidden resource into a real engine for growth. The analysis points to 4 key steps. Step 1, simplify everything. Make it way easier and more attractive to become a formal business. Step 2, bridge the protection gap. You have to give people a reason to formalize, like access to Social Security. Step 3, build what you could call digital rails. Prioritize fixing the payment gateway issue for the tech sector. That's the low-hanging fruit right there. And finally, step 4, and this is the big one. Address the root cause. You have to improve the whole investment climate so that good, formal jobs are created in the first place. And that brings us to the final critical question. For decades, this shadow economy has been Nepal's de facto safety net. The challenge now isn't to somehow crush it or eliminate it. The real challenge, and the huge opportunity, is to strategically bring it into the light. To turn what has been a mechanism for survival into what could be the country's single greatest engine for growth.